Give me a second, y'all. I'm here. Just attempting to wake up because, boy, howdy, did I get hit by the sleep today. So I'm here. We're here. We're still doing game dev stuff, but I kind of literally had to like shake myself up in order to like kind of wake up and undershoot. So I'm gonna just post a couple things. Okay. There. My spot. Please stop being silly. Computers are wonderful machines that can appreciate us. Sorry. Had like one other thing. Yes. That was they didn't stop like that. Dang it. helps me mostly wake up. Here, reject it. All right. Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I hope today has been best and productive for y'all. I got up, did a couple things, and then immediately became exhausted. But that's fine because yesterday I went out, and for the first time in a while, I actually did some talking about game development. A student of mine called me in, or asked me to come by, rather, and talk to their class about a couple things relating to like game design and game development. So I did, and that was great. But I think just by virtue of the fact that like my stamina is sort of a wreck, it seems. I came back from that. Also, maybe it's just that deep. But like I came back from doing that and came into the apartment and it fell metaphorically flat on my face. I was but the visit itself went well. And in the long and short of it, I am feeling it was, let me put it like this. It was nice to have that experience again. For a while, I said to myself that, like, I don't, like teaching in and of itself was never something that I, like, teaching was never something that I disliked in and of itself. It's just that the circumstances that I found myself teaching in kind of wound up killing my ability to do it effectively for a while. And so in this case, I wasn't really like necessarily, but being back among like students, I can feel like a lot of those old instincts coming back. I could feel a lot of those old instincts. I can feel a lot of those instincts sort of like keeping me up and propelled a little bit, I guess. And it's one of those things that when I think about it, I go, this is something that I enjoyed. Something that I liked. And even with the circumstances of how I wound up leaving that job, with the year that I've had basically being away from that field, I feel like what's the word I'm looking for? I think the simplest way I can put it is just that it feels almost like I was coming. Yeah, it was like kind of like a homecoming a little bit, even though I wasn't doing any actual like specifically I am the teacher things, right? In that classroom when I was speaking, I hmm, it was one of those things where I could feel, like I was saying before, this whole thing kind of coming back, and it's like I sort of was I guess really it is accurate to say that never left me, right? And I think that thinking about that made me think, you know, maybe just maybe, at least to me, in my mind, right? I'm sort of just sitting here going, I think maybe in the end, if it comes down to it, I think now I could be back in a position where I could teach. I think. Um, and for the longest time, I thought to myself, there is no way that I could do it. I thought to myself, I don't have the give left in me to do that anymore. And, you know, getting to sort of just like sit down and watch students kind of like talk about their first games and their projects and sort of just all that other stuff, something kind of like came back a little bit for me in a way that I hadn't had opportunity to experience in like a really long time. And I think that was that was nice. It would have shook something in me that I knew it wasn't gone, but just that I still had that instinct to like be around, be nosy, be teacherly, right? To the degree that I was like, no, I'm not like these. I'm not the teacher. Mine, right? And for myself, especially, that if I had to do it, I could. So that's kind of like where I'm at. So yeah, it was worth the exhaustion because now, like, physically speaking, I'm here, I'm upright, and I feel now like I have the motivation to keep going. I'm a little tired, but it was worth it to sort of be back out there for a little bit and sort of just remember for myself and realize for myself, right, this is something that I used to do, something that I used to enjoy. And maybe I'll be fortunate enough that it might lead other opportunities, but we're gonna have to kind of see how that goes, you know? So I say all of that mostly because now this is the part where we sit down and we knock some game dev stuff like out of the park. It's that kind of day and that kind of night. You're going in. basically, long and short of it is that I got a ton of new like sprites and stuff to in animations to integrate. That's what we're going to be doing. I think I'm going to stick to 3 hours just because pretty good chance that I might wind up getting hit by the big sleep. But if I don't, then that's just as good. Okay. Major things that we're doing. All right. Two things that we need to handle here. There. Okay, right. So now we've got some adjustments that are made to the sprite sheet, right? Frames now. Okay. Analysis. Switching to emphatic real quick while I make sure that that I need to pause shit backward. No, it's in the right spot. Okay. Dome. So the hit, let's see here. Okay, cool. That's not any different. It heated animation, we just gotta adjust a couple things. So here's how this works now. What I do is pretty straightforward actually. Here at this first frame, try to while we link those. Okay, cool. Basically, we're gonna have to redo a couple of bits. So we don't want to do this. Here's what we're gonna do. Now we're up. It's the reason why we're doing this. Bring this to that. Here for the drone, right? We can do this thing. We can add track. Call method. Come over to this thing. We can insert key. Make explosion. Right here, right? Basically, once we kill a drone and we hit this frame, it should make the explosion effect. That's the basic idea. So before I do anything else with any of the other enemies, I'm going to test them. Means something else is wrong. Oh right, it's because it's not a drone. That's a trooper. Killing me. That's a trooper. So I need to test it on like action stage 1. Alright. So we're almost there. Oh, that's what I forgot. That's what I forgot. Hold on. So, here's what I forgot. Because we have the explosion effect, right? But I never did this. I never did these two. I very simply never did these two things. Like 80, how big? 800. Oh, no, that's not right. Right there. Put these. 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't do it. There we go. Automatically plays, doesn't loop. Now when we come to stage 1, cool. So now that I know that that works, if we want to get like a little more spice in it, get it to overlap some, take this and push it forward a couple of frames, right? And now what will happen is, well, hold on. Not that one, my bad. We want to grab this one. Make explosion and push it forward by a couple of frames. And we basically can get the explosion to appear right at about this point. Right? Or if I even want to push it up a little bit more. Right here, it's about halfway down the size is when the explosion appears. See how that looks. In regular animation, there's this theory of like overlapping actions, right? Where right? The basic theory behind overlapping action, such as it is, right, is this idea that even as one part of the body moves, right, so for example, right, let's say that you throw a punch and you're animating a punch being thrown, right? Some of the overlapping action might be if your character has like long sleeves or something similar, like the squish of the sleeve, like following the motion, happens like to pull back, right? Because the sleeve is going to drag a little bit. This is not 100% the same thing. Not 100% the same thing, obviously, but the principle is the same in that, like, sometimes the trick is to deliberately what's the word I'm looking for? Right. So the trick mostly is that by choosing to move up when the explosion appears, right, get this nice effect where it sort of overlaps a little bit with the character shrinking down, like with the drone shrinking, right? And it sort of helps sell the explosion. It helps sort of sell the, like, if I put it too far away, it sounds like the explosion is taking too long to start. It kind of throws it off of you, right? But right? You now get this feeling of, oh, right, I got rid of this thing. Right? A little more whimsical, a little more stylish, but it also helps sell the effect of, like, bam, you got it. So, I'm going to go over now to the super, and we're going to do something very similar, right? So the explosion effect itself is now taken care of. Now the only thing you really need to do is super, come over to the animation player, get an animation, so a couple things I need to actually sort out. So first things, I need to come over here and this back to 3 vertical frames to sort of sort out that part of it, right? This causes all that to disappear. thankfully, because of the way that I had the code set up, this trooper defeated state already has the code for already has the code for the stuff that I need to disappear happening. That's already there. Put it at 5 frames. Actually, even just remove modulate track, because the enemy is like scaling down, and basically make it so that on the first frame, that's when it appears. Same thing over here, right? So trooper, animation player here, trooper defeated. Knock this back to 5 frames. Rid of this modulate track here. We do add call method. Repeated state for the trooper. At frame 1, insert the key for make explosion. Here in the transform, we make sure that we scale. By the time we come to like the end of it, we make sure another key for the scale. 0 to 0, right? Same thing, right? And I think insofar as the ones that I have, okay, we have it for all the enemies. So cool, we can do to be able to do the scout and the tank as well, which is nice. So it's basically the same thing. We're just going to adjust the vertical frames so that because basically what's happened is that by simplifying by the changes that have been made, it basically just one row of animation from it removes one row of animation from the sprite sheet, so I have to just readjust the sprite sheet to be the correct size, which I just did. And then for each of these now, it's just a matter of going over to this thing. Get rid of that, add track. Property track of sprite 2D, want scale, right? And same as it ever was. We insert here, here. This one, we just make sure that we end over there. Get rid of frames up here. Make sure that this value is set to 32. Length of the animation to 5. Right? And then all we have to do, add track, call method, scout defeated state, and then on the first frame, add a key for make explosion. And now the scout is set up correctly. Same thing for the tank. And this is why we tested it with the drone first, because this makes it so that now that I know it works with the drone, I just have to repeat the process. With pretty much every other enemy that we have, and it's fine. So animation player needed right here. Yep. 2. So I can get rid of this one. Add property track with sprite 2D scale. Add call method track. Hit state. Frame 1. Make explosion. And for the scale keys, over here, we insert at the very start that. Lock this down to 5 frames. So then over here for this one, insert key. Sure it ends at 0. And we should be good. I can go test this on like stage 2 now. We can double check distribution. Yeah. Cool, so that works. We got all of the new death animations in and everything. If I want to make those bigger, for example, if I'm like, oh yeah, the explosion effect doesn't look like it's big enough, right? I could very easily go set up in even like the default, like case in point to kind of demonstrate, right? If for whatever reason I'm like, wow, you know, it's not big enough, I could always do over here, right? Export explosion scale factor, right? And then all I really have to do is down here where I make the explosion, right? I do explosion dot scale times equal explosion scale factor, right? And basically that makes it so that if I wanted to make it bigger, all I really have to do is like literally, because the scale is going to start at 1, right? Or if I wanted to be super pedantic about it, I could be like this, right? But really, I'm going to assume that the scale for the explosion is at 1, and if I want to make it bigger, right, I just change the explosion scale factor and it will scale up accordingly. If I felt like doing it. So I'll leave it there for now and just have it as a thing. Just because you never know. Oh, right. I should make sure of one thing, actually. Because now that we have the explosion effect, what I should do. Really, I should do this. So, public void on load and then finished. Export. Okay, so I don't need these public. I just need export animation. I know for a fact that basically we're gonna do instead is anim player dot animation finished. Oh, I think it's, yeah, I can't do that. I know why. It's okay. We can do the connection manually. So it's not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. This is all we really have to do here. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna come over to the explosion effect, assign this animation player to it, just in case I need it for later. And then what we're gonna do over here is switch to the node for the animation player. We're gonna take animation finished, and we're gonna make sure the explosion effect appears selected. We're gonna hit pick. We're gonna do on explosion and finished and hit connect. And now, when the animation's finished, bam, we do the cue free. Simple as that, right? This way, we're sure the whole thing plays before all that's done. Excellent. And now the only thing I really want to do is I got to adjust where the score effect appears now. Pretty much the only, I think that's the primary thing I need to do. I'm gonna go, where is it? Not this one. Enemy state defeated, and then I gotta figure out where that thing goes. Set hitbox disable, drop power up. New score effect. Okay. And I should offset it by like a little bit. Hang on, I gotta remember my coordinate systems. I get a little backwards sometimes. So when I say that, what I mean is I know where I want it to spawn, but I have to remind myself because certain game engines will handle the Y coordinates a little differently depending on the game engine. In Godot's case, right, 0 is the top of the screen, and then the more positive you get, the further down it goes. So if you want something to appear below something else, you add to its Y position. Opposite, if you want it to appear above, you back the Y position. So we're going to do new or effect dot global position dot Y minus equal. Hang on. This should just move up or spawn by about 50, like 50 pixels or so. So ideally, it'll move it up just a little bit so that it's not. Or it put it lower because I don't actually know what I'm talking about here. Wait, vector 2 dot up. That's why. I'm silly. Or am I? Hang on. Because vector 2 dot up and vector 2 dot down. Okay, right. Y is down into vector. Okay. Yeah. There we go. I had it backwards for a second. Because I did this, vector 2 dot up was already negative. So subtracting a negative number is the same as adding a positive one. So that's my fault. I forgot to check. I forgot to check my cases, but this should be fine now. Okay, cool. So it turns out though that the animation is not. Turns out though that the speed of the animation, looking at it, is shorter than the actual sound. So we'll revert this change that I made. Turns out it was better this way, which happens sometimes, right? So basically, what I'm getting at mostly is that once the sound is done playing, that's when the explosion effect should destroy itself. It's fine. It doesn't. At first, the words are hard. At first, I thought that the explosion would be longer than the animation. That is not the case. So I'm going to revert it back to the behavior that it had before, where it waits for the. Sorry, I had a panic moment thinking I broke something. Okay, good. Better. I just need to give it one extra frame. One extra frame here. We're going to do add track, property, right 2D, want modulate, and then right here, our 10th frame, we're going to make sure that it is right this last frame, right? So this one we do this, and then this frame, even if it stays on that sprite, we make sure that it's blank, and we're good. Right? Yes, Debbie. Oh, hang on a second. Damn it. Made a mistake, forgot a very important thing, which is that we need to have keyframes. Hang on. So we need insert key. But this one, we need modulation turned all the way up. and we have to have it that modulation all the way up until this point, and then in the next frame, then in the next frame after the ninth frame, it turns off. 9, and then 10, it goes away. That should make sense. Hi, Stubby. How you doing? Hopefully well. Okay. Are we getting the things to work? Yep. KT gave yeah, KT gave me some new animations to work with. So so that's what we're working with pretty much. It's literally just like the new death animations pretty much. So it looks like we more or less have that part under control, which is good. Now, okay, good. So the reason why I came over here to come do this is pretty straightforward. The thing I'm about to do next is going to be pretty wicked. But it requires me to do some stuff with hit stop, really make it all work out. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're I'm gonna have to handle a couple of these things because Objects. All this. Here's how this is going to have to work. Animation player. And we want the right 2D. The on the bomb explosion effect. Process, we need to do always. Well, hold on. We've got an ad. While we got an ad, yeah, I'm just gonna go to the BRB screen for a while. When that's done, we'll come back. So, in a bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and action.
Henshin!
The jump to the sky turns to a rider kick.
There's only one person who can stop, and that's me. Hey everybody, my name is Sean. They call me either that or SJ. As I say on my own channel, make games, I play games. Games make do, basically. Did you really think that I was going to let you hit me with that? No. Guess what? I'm still alive, motherfucker. Going too fast is no good. Shut the fuck up. What else you got? I have to hit button. Button hit good. This no count, no good, self-absorbed. Giving free turns goes against my professional ethics. I saved your ass! Yo, the nerve of this motherfucker. The absolute gall. The complete stinkiness. Do you see these motherfuckers? They stole all my shit! Fuck out of here. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck now. Stank ass, punk ass, smelly ass motherfucker. Yo! Not with the deep cut. My brain is full of eels. Anyway, so Fuck. We should just play this fucking video game. Damn it. That's not fair. No, that's fighting dirty. You can't do that. Just because it's correct doesn't mean it's right. Just for that, I'll teach y'all to talk to me about the consequences of my own actions. And now, this poll that I'm not going to look at the results of yet. I'm lying. I'm going to look right now. Jesus fuck! Why are y'all like this? What was the reason? This is all according to my calculations. We will probably be fine. God damn it. Can somebody clip that? This is no good. You facetious motherfuckers. You really are gonna stand up in front of God and everybody. Oh my fucking God. No. No. I can't fucking stand you. How dare you? How very dare you? You right, but shut up. Give me a church. I told y'all I was gonna get a church, and I got a church. Apris above be praised. Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. And peanut butter. Praise be to Lord R.N. Jesus. For in our time of need, he has provided. Can I get a blessings to R.N. Jesus in the chat? have to behave. I have to behave. I have to behave. I have to behave. You know what? I'm just gonna do this.
What kind of just nonsense did you just... What in the hell do you mean? You put me on your whole motherfucking screen?
They're all gonna die. Somebody clip that. Oh no. Not again. Y'all do what I think y'all did? Y'all can't bully me like this. Y'all got me all kinds of twists turned up right now. I don't know what the... I applaud you, but also, god fucking damn it, I would just be like, fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I should be fine. Fuck all of you. No! 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 That's not how this works. I am the danger. Oh yeah! I'll respond to that, but fuck! That's shit! Fuck! That's all I have to say in response, you know? If you are into fighting games, JRPGs, game design talk, and all that other kind of stuff, please feel free to follow me over at twitch.tv/SJH says games. I can't fucking stand y'all. I can't. Y'all are the absolute fucking worst. I love this fucking community so much. Y'all are just the best. You know that? All of y'all. All of y'all in here. I appreciate y'all so much. You got the straight mom seal of approval. Also because I'm handsome. Good job. Okay. We're back. I always like to just let the AFK video play out because it also gives me some time to like sit down and resituate. I also wanted to go to season while we were doing that. So here's what I'm doing right now. Right now we got a big ball of empty right here. My plan is that I'm making a new little scene that plays a nice new explosion effect that KT was kind enough to put together for me. However, in order for this to work correctly, right? We're going to do this sort of like old school Streets of Rage or Streets of Rage style, where you used to be able to like call in like a screen clearing special move that would like actually cause action to stop, right? For a bit. So that then you could sort of like see the effect of like whatever explosion was happening or what have you. This is often a thing that happens in a lot of like games that have like screen clearing attacks where everything stops except for like the actual like animation of whatever the special effect is, and then everything resumes, right? Trick to doing this in Godot is kind of twofold, at least if I have this correct, right? So over here in the inspector where it says node process inherit, this basically determines, right, whether or not the given thing that you have selected over here can or cannot run while, let's put it like this. The way that Godot generally expects you to construct the scenes that you're working in is like this, right? Where you have like a parent node up at the very top, and then you have all your other objects that are within it sort of composited under. So we have an audio manager for the sound, parallax BG here for like the parallax background that does the scrolling that you see, the HUD, has its own node. The player start position is represented by a node. The enemy spawner is represented by a node, etc., right? So when you pause, or when you're writing a pause function in Godot, right? If you're like, I need to be able to pause the game, one of the things you generally need to do in order to make your life easier when you pause the game in Godot is to pause the entire tree. That's what this whole structure is called, right? So coming in from the top down with like, right? When you go all the way down, this whole thing is considered a tree. So if you pause the root, get the tree, and then you pause the root of the tree, right? Then this causes everything else to pause as well, unless there are specific things that you do per node. Here is the thing, right? So here is the thing. Here's the trick. If a node under its process property has mode always, right? What will happen here is that pausing the tree will not affect the operation of everything else, so long as, well, I shouldn't do this here. I did this enemy explosion effect, which don't want to do that. I want to do that over here in Leonic bomb explosion effect. So process, instead of inherit, if we do always, then this means that even if we pause the tree, rest of the animations here will run, right? And this is important because the way that we want this to work is the animation will do its thing, and then once the animation is done, we get like unpause and let things kind of like roll as they're gonna roll, right? That's ideally the way that we want to do it. I'm going to switch away from my other monitor. Somebody is getting scolded and they don't get it. So I'm going to leave that one alone. Hang on. Nice to save point. Oh, that's fine. Okay. I now need to do a bunch of math on this. Hang on. Animation. This is 2 vertical frames. I just don't know how many horizontals. Hold on. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Damn it. I gotta figure out how many rows this is now. My brain is not cooperating with this math very well right now. Hang on a second, y'all. I'm gonna do my best. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. My brain is not agreeing with doing the math of this correctly. gonna be a pain. Mental note to self: you need to ask KP to make sure that in the future, active. Okay, sprite size. Oh, okay. So then that's really what I need to do, I think. Hold on a sec. Switching to emphatic real quick because sometimes the search function pops up weird things. Alright, there we go. Alright. There we go. We're gonna do the same trick here, right? So here at the 20th frame, we have that, then the frame. We're at the 21st. So here we have that, and now here. So two things. We're gonna come over here. I'm gonna do add track, property track. We're gonna do right to the modulate here 1. This one over here is still that over here E, and we're gonna knock this down this. Okay. And now we're gonna come over. Scripts, effects, 8 new script, and this is going right from node. Scripts effects. I'm gonna drop this off up here. Now, one thing I need to do. Here, bomb. I need to see if I did this. Okay. Gotta check one thing. Timer. Okay. I may have to take a look at this. Alright, let me see. Huh. Here's what we're gonna do. Copy this. I'm gonna bring it over here. So here we now need to do a little thing. Override. So here's what we're gonna do. This override void on timer timeout is meant to like basically set it up so that now, right, when the player bomb detonates, we can set up a certain degree of very specific things that we want to happen. So for the player, in the player bomb's case, I'm gonna do export hacked scene expect. Hey Vallejo. Thank you for the lurk. Player bomb explosion effect, right? We're gonna do this in the pack scene. We're gonna have a pack scene here to help instantiate that in a second. So, and over here, I just need to do public. How do I do signals again? My brain is having a hard fart right now. Public delegate. So public delegate. Public delegate void all bomb. We're just gonna do it like that, right? And ours and region, we're gonna need export there and in player. Okay. I'm gonna break this into code function. Regular bomb. Public virtual So for right now, I'm not deleting this code all the way, but what I am going to do, I am going to comment it out. Part. What I want to do here, really, we're going to call in the explosion effect. And when the explosion effect is done, we're going to have the, well, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do, I gotta remember how to instantiate these things. Hold on a second. that one. Sometimes I just need a minute to remember how to do this thing. Sometimes I forget how to do instantiations correctly in Godot because I haven't been doing them for like a long time. So occasionally I do not remember the way that I'm supposed to do it. So every now and again I have to stop and like go look it up somewhere so I don't mess it up. Enemy state defeated should have it. Here we go. So I do. I need the name of that thing. I need the name of the type I want to use. Air bomb. Persona, bomb, explosion effect, new effects. Have to instantiate off the scene. Back dot. Oh, I didn't build this yet, I don't think. That gives me this. Back dot. Why can't I see that signal? Oh. I forgot to do this. That's why. It's like, why can't I see it? I forgot to put this in front of it. So the reason why this is important and why we need this to be a signal is because ideally, right, we want to make sure that right? So this is in order what should happen, right? Or hang on a second. I'm gonna do one last thing just to be sure. Do public override targets. We do base dot damage targets and then queue free afterward. What should happen is that now this pop back over here and then so let me go back over to bomb and we're just going to do this. Damages all targets of the target as well as facing right? So the reason why we're doing this like this is because I want to set this up so that explosion effect will play and do what it needs to do. Once it is done with all of its effects, however long that takes, so that this way we don't have to like make the bomb effect like wait for some arbitrary period of time before. Okay, it already does Q free. Never mind. So I don't even have to do that. I can just do this part, and then I can just get rid of this, and it's fine. That's one step better. Right? So I'm setting it up so that once all the bomb effects are finished with this, we're good. Right? Now we just need to do public void on So for right now, we're going to do this the old-fashioned way, right? So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to come over here to this. And for right now, what I'm going to do. Right here on the 21st frame, for right now, I'm going to do a call method to this thing. And right here, we're going to say on on for right here. The reason why I'm not going to the effort of like going, okay, node, when this animation is finished, do that. The reason why I'm not doing that is because I'm testing this in stages, right? Because I would like to also add some extra like random explosions in the middle to help sell it's hitting the whole screen part, but I just want to make sure this first part works first. So before we get too wild with it, we're just gonna do all this stuff and make sure that this works correctly. Hey, KT. So okay, the pause part worked. But contrary to what I was hoping for, it does not look like the rest of the animation actually doesn't look like it played out. So Hold on a second. Let me double check one thing. Sort of. Let me see here. It's doing basically the thing that I told it to do. So that was the thing. Remember how I said I wanted to like make sure that we get like hit stop going? That's part of me trying to set up the hit stop and my expectations being not met, to say the least. So the program didn't crash. It's just that she paused. Oh. I am silly, and I forgot to make sure that it actually plays the explosion when we start. Hold on. Silly me. Public ride. Ready. Anim player dot play. Explosion edges. We're gonna go to sleep. So it's not that it's not supposed to, Stubby, it's that I literally forgot to make, assuming that my my leap of logic here has worked, it's because I forgot to make the actual animation for the bomb animation play. So let's see. Well, let me see something. Here. Most of it is probably just down to something that I'm overlooking. The more that I think about it, it's down to something that I'm overlooking. So before I go and like drastically overhaul any code, I'm just going to keep double checking things. Like, for example, did I remember to put an animation player reference into the actual thing? I did just now, but I don't know if that fixed it. So now in this case, what I can do is, oh, I'm not setting the position of the. That would be why, wouldn't it? Hold on. I gotta think about this for a second. Little things like going, did you ever actually instantiate it in the first place? So, let me form. I need to do it at exactly the right as well. All right. So I have to make sure that in the middle. Forget that. A lot of this is just mostly coming down to Sean is forgetting to put things into the code, and that's why it's causing problems. Right? So I never added this to the. So here's what I need to really do. Right? New explosion effect dot global position. New vector 2. Now, 1 second. Now over here, I need to right under instance public node get protected. Very simple, right? And we're going to do instances that get tree dot now I can just make it an export variable, make my life easier. Then I have to set that root every single time. Okay. I got to do it somewhere, basically. Okay, so I think I have a way around this, so I don't have to. Let me see. Ready. So I can just have the ready state that the players see, so I don't have to worry about it. Or if I really wanted to be like, I could just do game state ready. Or I can't do that, so we're just going to do this one instead. So the player, so wherever the player has its seed root set, that. All right, cool. Wrong stage to do it on. That's not gonna work. Hold on. On stage 1. Basically, the long and short of it is that I was never putting the bomb into the seat to begin with. That's what was causing the problem. Good. Okay, good. Okay, so I just need to hide 2 things. I should probably hang on. Here, do I have the progress bar? Okay. Right, the right for the bond image. So back over here. We're gonna go back to the boot and make sure that assign 2 things. Animation player is that, and gotta that. All right, I need to do export. I forgot to export it. Export. Here, that's where that. Build it, and we're just find that one. And the reason why we're doing it over here in this weird thing called bomb is because now it propagates over to player bomb, right? So now we don't have to like reset this. So now over here in the player bomb, when the timer times out for it, we just sprite dot full equal. So uh, okay. Wrong one. Wrong scene. Shouldn't have done that one. Okay, let's see. That's about right. I just got to get it to go to the right spot now. 2 vector 2, or I could just do vector 2 0. Because the Leona bomb explosion effect, animation player, where is it centered? Yeah, it's centered right there. It's not centered at the middle of it, which means that I need to put it at 0, 0 for it to like actually play at the right spot. I offset it too much. So if I put it at 0, 0, it should go blah. Yep. And if we're like, that's too short, right? This is why I've been very deliberate about how I set this up. Wait, I missed it? Yeah. It's subtle right now. And it's also because I don't think we have sound effects to go with it. But yeah. So now what we can do from here is go a little further, right? Let's say that to help sell this further, we want to have some random explosions, right? I'm just going to do a little thing here. Node, I'm going to say small anim extreme. I'm going to do nope, do not change that. Marker. I'm going to do 4 of these. So good. Eleven. So X. Actually, if this has a vector 4, let me see something. I may not even need to do that. Does Godot have a vector 4? Yeah, okay, cool. We have vector 4. That's the thing that we have. So I'm just going to do vector 4 x, y limit. All exchange vector 4 100 1180 100 Now you may be wondering, x and y limits that's smaller and x and y of the vector 4 represent the horizontal limits dot z and dot w represent the vertical one. So Here's the funny thing, right? Vector 2, vector 3, and vector 4, while they are like the vector 2, for example, commonly use that for determining position of things in 2D space because it's an x component and a y component. However, vector 2 as a data structure is not required to only be used for positional stuff, right? If you have any 2 arbitrary values you want to hold, vector 2 is great for that. If you have any 3 arbitrary values you want to hold, vector 3 is great for that. If you have any 4, vector 4 is great for that. So, public void on big N finished. And now I can even do, for example, export timer small explosion. So now I have 2 timers, right? I can have a timer that tracks the total duration and then a timer that tracks when the explosions should repeat, right? So on big N finished, I can do very simply, and I only run big N finished one time, right? I can do small explosions total duration timer dot start, as well as small explosions repeat timer start, right? And here I can also even in the ready, I can do small explode total duration timer dot timeout, not time left, but time out, plus equals on all animations finished. Right? So here's what I can do now. I can set the total duration timer to whatever value I want. The repeat timer can be some other value, and then whenever the repeat timer times out, watch this now. All explosions repeat timer dot time out equals on small explosion. We don't have that yet, right? Void on small explosion. Over here, do that. Now, I forgot the plus equals. That's why it's yelling at me. Now over here, I just need to do export hacked scene small explosion hacked scene, right? And all I really need to do is small explosion hacked scene dot instantiate. Or rather, I do. It's gonna depend. I can just do for now. I can just do like node that, and it equals new small. It's a node 2D because it has to have node 2D new small explosion. This much I know for a fact, right? That the new small explosion is going to be this thing, right? Here I can do public node. I could do that, but I don't. Forget it. Let me not make my life difficult. Then we're gonna do new small explosion. So hang on. Let's make it easy. I'm gonna do vector. We got another ad. Dang it. Okay. Um, all right, we got another ad. I have to keep working through the ad. So I'm going to keep working through the ad, and then I'll come back. If people are stuck in the ad, hell, I'll explain what's happening again. Okay. So let me. Uh, And then we're going to do so basically, here's the idea of what I'm working with here, right? Here's the idea. And I should probably go through and comment at least most of these so that I'm not losing this out. Animation player for large bomb effect. Total timer node that represents how long we're going to making smaller explosions. Timer. This one is the timer node that how many times that controls frequency that these smaller acts for these smaller, right? And then this signal emits and all bomb effects are finished. So when this first enters the scene, the edges nation, then then timers to their functions. When this function begins when the big finishes. Start both timers. So this is the logic, right? Play the big we play the big on the instant, right? Then we kick off this function, which starts both of our timers, right? The repeat timer will continue to spawn small explosions. So if small explosions total duration timer got stopped is false. So if total duration timer is still going, then we run our G, right? If the total duration timer has not stopped yet. Hey Shan, make a new random number generator. Instantiate a small explosion and randomize its position limits that we defined for the small explosion earlier. That's what these two things do, right? This part where it says new position equals new vector 2 RNG randef range. Literally, it's just giving us a random range between this big one is for the x coordinate, then this big one is for the y coordinate. So it just instantiates the explosion, randomizes the position, set the position, set the global position of the and explosion, or adding it, right? And then once all animations are finished, which happens with this timeout, then we emit the signal that all is finished, right? After we emit that signal, we cue free this effect. At some point, if I really felt like it, I could probably like object cool. I could probably do object cooling for this, but not necessary. So, the last part of this now is that we obviously need to create the bomb effect. And here in the process, again, we need to make sure that it always runs, so it's not stopped by pausing. Add child node, Sprite 2D, add child node. I could just do animated Sprite 2D and I guess it'd be fine. But I prefer to do the animation player method because it gives me more flexibility in terms of like how much control I have over it. I'm gonna do mode explosion. I could use either, I guess, huh? Hey T, if you're still here, how did you intend this to go? I can either attempt to layer both, or I could do 1, 2, 5. If he's not here, I will just make the decision. And whatever she said, probably. Whatever she says later on. Damn it. Have a reason. I don't know. I haven't seen it fully animated in that. I've seen one of them animated that way, but not both. So, okay. It might, but okay. 7, 6, 5. I have to make an executive decision. So I could do 2 animation players and have them both go at the same time, but that's I could have 2 sprites and 2 I could do the primary and the secondary. I have a way of being able to cheat this so I don't have to make another one of these in order to get that thing to work. But right now, I gotta do the simplest possible version. Keeping it simple. Because it might look cool, but I'm also trying to make sure that I don't push too hard and knock myself out by the end of the night. So I am picking my battles very carefully. How did that go? Property tracks, Sprite 2D. 2, small, 1. Right. Because I guess I could also just have it randomized between the two of them instead of layering it. I'll make the decision. If I think too hard about it, I'm going to stop and wrangle a bunch when I just need to make sure that I have the thing doing what it needs to do. So, don't need the issue. But I do need the timers. Timer. Timer, and then this one is timer 5. One shot. Timer is not a one shot, and the wait time is like 5. Small explosion effect. Connect. Pick. Nope, can't do that. Alright. Ecstasy. Bombs. All. Here, do this. Up. Aim. Here, we're going to come to the animation player, and then we're going to do finished, okay, on and finished, connect, and that's all we have to do, right? Okay, that one here. So now, basically, they dispose themselves on their own. Total duration timer set. Either of these are set to auto start because they need to do off of whatever we get here. Oh wait, whoops. My bad. I forgot to remove a thing. So over here in the Leona Bomb explosion effect, I forgot in the animation player, come and turn off this thing. Leona Bomb explosion effect isn't always processing. Small explosion effect, also always processing. What might have also been a cool idea. Public override. Ready, base ready. Get node. can't be bothered to like export right now. Thing with the borders of the screen. You're gonna have to elaborate because right now my brain is in like problem solving mode. So if you're not super explicit about what it is that you're getting at, my brain is not processing it right now. Okay, it doesn't do the right because I gotta switch the big and finish because I forgot to do that. Here with this one. Get rid of this one. And I'm finished is here. Okay, stage 1, run it. Good. Alright, then that means it's too long and we can shorten it. And that's fine, but it works. It does the thing it's supposed to do. What I wanted, which is what I wanted to do. So we can shorten that, speed it up a little bit. But it does the thing that I was expecting it to. So Leona Bomb, explosion effect. What we're gonna do over here is, thank you, KT. I'm gonna do export, just so I can make my life easier. Float. Small explosions, total duration equals 3F. Export. Float. Small explosion. 3 sequence 0.25. How long should total durations of these small went small explosions here on screen. And then all we're gonna do is small explosions repeat timer dot wait time gonna be small explosion small total duration timer dot wait time small explosion total duration. One time that it actually predicted things I want to correct. Set timers pro find the correct function timers timeout. Non-repeating timer node, and then the repeating timer node that controls the frequency that the small explosions have. Looks so cool. Yeah, I'm, for the most part, if I'm gonna toot my own horn for a second, I'm personally just proud of the fact that I more or less sat down, looked at it, and went, I'm pretty sure if I do it like this, it will work exactly the way it's supposed to. And there is nothing more powerful than an engine where you can sit down, say that semantically, and it does what it's supposed to do. And if I want to like get really about it, right? And sure, it's like silent right now, and that's fine. Transform, if we want to get real with it, just to make that part a little more visible, right? I can scale up the smaller explosion effects. And if I want to make them like play sounds when this thing happens, I can just have it. I can just add a sound node to the smaller explosion and have it do that too. Right? And yeah, if it's taking too long and it's like, it's still a little bit too long, because it is a little long to wait, because like players might be using bombs like a lot. So if I want to, I can come to. Why can I not see the? Oh boy, hold on a second. Oh, it's because it's a small explosion effect, and I'm not thinking correctly. Okay, right? So if I'm like, it's still taking too long. Like 1.5, 20, and maybe I do like, right? I have a limit, obviously, to how low I can put this, but isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? And if I wanted to like add like sound effects to play at like certain intervals or whatever, literally all I would have to do is go over to this bigger explosion effect thing, right? I could literally, if I felt like it, go into the animation player and set it up so that at specific frames a sound plays, or I could do it programmatically. Like it's literally whatever. It's however it is I want to choose to handle it. Yeah, yeah. Bum 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 bum. Right? And if I want this again, if I want the small explosions to come faster, I just come back to the bomb explosion effect and lower the repeat time. And I should get maybe about like 15 explosions out of this one. Even if I do like 0.75, right? For the total duration. Then it'd be good to go. Right? I can obviously kind of like keep fine tuning this however it is that I would like to, but and if I was really in the mood, right, I could probably figure out a way to do like a screen shake sort of effect, but I don't think we really necessarily need that. Just probably need sounds, sort of like help sell a little bit more. And then it's good, pretty much, right? At least as far as I'm concerned. And then we're good. At least as far as like I can think of. The games where I can think of where the bombs, yeah, and they are here, right? Like there is an enemy that does drop bomb refills, but I'm being very deliberate about not introducing that enemy for a while. The enemy type exists and is planned for, but I am deliberately not introducing them right away. At least that is my intention. If the push is strong enough, I may have to break that, but the intention, at least right now, is not to introduce the enemy that replenishes your bombs until you get a bit further into the game. That at least when you're using them early, yeah, you do have to like hold them and be very, because it is a very powerful tool, right? And I do want players to feel empowered to use it, but I also want them to feel like they have to measure very carefully how they will. And I know a lot of it is like, oh, then the strategy is just to save it for the boss, right? So we are considering other options to like kind of branch off from that and make the decision of holding or not holding a little bit more impactful, but we're getting there. All right. And I guess probably mostly just for safety's sake. Just in case, because I know I'm going to want to do it later. Audio. I don't want it to be positional. I just need an audio stream there. Audio. Yep, non-positional audio. Big sound. This next target is stereo. Bus is X. Autoplay is on. Copy this one. Can't do that. Add child node. Audio stream. Bus is X. Autoplay is on. I'm gonna do all. Right. So whenever I'm ready, I can literally just throw in big explosion sound, bam. Small explosion sound, bam. Demulto, and we're good. Bomb. That's big explosion, right? A bomb. Big explosion. Yeah, like the actual name of the bomb launcher that Leone uses is called the Mjolnir launcher. But for the sake of the fact that like, and this is why it's important. When you are when you're doing the programming of the stuff that's like underlying, right? Is that when you can when you wind up maybe changing names of things because development happens or what have you, sometimes it is best to just name your script literally for the things that they are for, the things that they represent. So that even if like the surface level names change, when you're looking at the code, you're not like, what the heck was the Mjolnir again? It's like, no, right. This is right, Leona bomb explosion effects. I want Leona bomb underscore. Right? I can make sure the scripts didn't load on me because they do that sometimes. Project. Okay, good. That seems like okay. Small explosion effect. Trying to keep the scene names, the script names, and trying to keep like the scene names and the script names all consistent with each other because that makes my life a lot easier. Um, Whenever I need to go looking for things. Okay, so cool. And now, in theory, if I wanted to randomize, right, which animation it was playing, which I think I can do. Now that I know that this works, now let's get a little more funky with it. Small explosion. Now we can get a little funky with it. Where is it? Come on, brain. Want that? All right. Come on, brain. About it on me now. Come on. A little bit more. Okay. Okay. Give me a little more. Just give me a little more. Give me a little more, buddy. I know. I know. I know. Okay. Integer between from and to inclusive, not exclusive. Okay. So I want between 1 and 2. 2 is inclusive. Thing that format small. Oops. Not that one. Not yet. String dot format small explosion. This. And then we're going to do explosion pick. So what this does, this is a stand-in. Like this is basically a, I forget the actual term that is used programmatically for this, but when you do string dot format in C sharp, right? You can do you can do string dot format in C sharp, put in a string, and then if you do curly braces 0 or curly braces 1 or curly braces 2, you can then add in extra variables or values that you then want to be substituted in the order. So small explosion, curly braces 0 means that it will take whatever I then put in as a comma after this and substitute it. So explosion pick is between 1 and 2, including 1, and it's an integer. So it will always be, it will either be it'll either be small explosion underscore 1 or small explosion underscore 2. And it should play one of those at random. So whenever a small explosion effect is put in, it will do that. I could also do, for example, float explosion scale equals RNG dot rand f range and do 1, And then I could do scale times equals explosion scale. And now you might be like, what does this mean? Some of the explosions will be bigger and some of them will be smaller. Sometimes it will randomize between one of these two or one of the others. Harry Bot, you're the best. Thank you. All right, let's see. I saw the debugger yell 8, which means that there is something I messed up here. That got angry. What are you angry about? What are you upset about? What did I do? What did I do incorrect? I messed this part up. That's why. I put a parentheses in the wrong spot. Because I put the parentheses out here, it made explosion pick as part of animation player.play, which is not what I want. I need it to be part of string format. So literally because I put the other parentheses in the wrong spot, it was like, what are you talking about? This should fix it though. That's my fault, but I caught them. Let's see. All right. Much better. Much better. I think I want it to last a little longer than it already is. So we're going to go over to... Hold on a second. Godot, why explode? It might have been upset about me renaming some of those files. Hold on a second. Not sure it's because probably what I really should do if I'm gonna do that is make it pick between it's because it would have been between like very small gradations thereof. And I did it backwards. The reason why Godot exploded was probably because I was messing around changing scene names while they were open, and Godot got upsetty about that. I think we're okay. I think being the operative word here. 2 and 3. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes when you're changing around like scene names and stuff of things of like saved scenes in Godot, it is usually a good idea to not do what I did. Like you should have the scenes closed in the editor when you change the names around, because sometimes Godot then goes, what were you doing? And it gets upsetting. Yeah. So to answer your question, Stubby, the reason why you probably couldn't see the variation is because this is on me. When I did this random range here, it's picking like 2, 2.1, 2.3, 2.5, 2.7, right? So those variations may not work out the right way. So really, if I wanted to really be serious about it, I could do this. Float explosion scales equals new float or this will probably represent it better. Oops, I forgot. This will probably do it better, right? Or if I could do like 2. I could do 2, 5. Right? And if I do that, what's going to happen is now between those 4 sizes, it will pick between those 4 sizes, right? Some of this is me admittedly just kind of like screwing around and just like doing stuff to see how I can make it look a little more bombastic, but yeah, not too bad. Oh, this was outside of the length of the array. Hang on. Oh, I forgot to do this. That's why. That should change bounds. Ooh, I wonder, can you play the inner bombs and the frame bombs together? I'm worried it's gonna be too much of a stop for players. I could. I would rather hear what they have to say before I decide to do it. I could do that, but I want to hear it from them before I decide that that's the case. Because like really, right? Literally, if I felt like it, I could literally just come over to the animation player, right? And literally shift this a couple of frames forward. And it will work. Oh, yeah. And of course, I wasted all of them. Yeah, so I can easily, yeah. I literally, all I have to do is like just take this and drag it to wherever, and that controls when and where it goes off. Put it back here. The difference is like it's perceptible by like a little. For me personally, it's one of those things where the difference is perceptible, but it's also considering how fast that animation plays and considering that I basically have it kicking off the smaller explosions exactly when it's done. To me, it feels like an either or sort of situation. If you really feel that it's better served going off earlier, I can literally just drag this function like right back up to here and have it kick off in the middle, and it functionally will it'll do exactly the thing that you're asking about. So it's not, because it's not so big of a deal to change. How do I put it? I'm in the position where, given what we are doing this for, I want to see how people respond to it. Even as I say that out loud, I'm wondering if I just leave it midway through. I'll do it one more time and see which one I like better, and then I'll make the decision. Because it is such a small thing that I guess it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the either which way in the context of, if one is better than the other, the change game is not going to. You know what? We'll leave it like that. You made the right call. I'll leave it there. I don't think it will be too much of a stop, but feeling wise, it seems like it comes out about the same way either which way. But probably just better to err on the side of like making it like a little more what's the word? Making it a little making it a little bit more gracious to keeping things faster. I can accept that logic. So, all right, KT, I'll go with it. It goes off now about halfway through the bigger explosion. Well, halfway is not accurate because it's like 22 frames and it goes off at like frame. It's 22 frames and it goes off at like frame 12. So like a little bit over halfway. But all right. So we need sound effects for that part. That reminds me that I need to go. Ooh, I have to go bother that child about that. Okay, no, I keep saying that, and I keep telling myself. I keep telling myself that I should stop calling this person, but I can't help it because of how long I have known them for. It is a reflex, and I should stop doing that. Um, I need to talk to our sound person about that and about getting those. We may not get them in time because I don't think. I never think of asking these things in time. I could probably go clutch together some stuff in that thing. Your son, what are you talking? I know, I know, I know, I know. But I have to. It's one of those things where if I do not stop and consciously check myself on it, I will. I will continue to put myself in this limbo where I am thinking that all of those precious children are still children when they are all at this point young adults, and I gotta stop doing that. I know in theory he does not actually mind, but I am also trying to be very consciously aware of the fact that it's like, right, it's all good when it's jokes and it's just when he's here. Anyway, good gravy. I'm a mess. All right. Um, but I may just go clutch together some sounds like BFXR or something. Um, just so that we have just that we have something to kind of like help sell that. I could, in theory, do that right now if I really felt like it, but I don't know if I do. I don't know if I have like the mental energy to like sit down and like fuss with the sounds and do it before ads start in a couple minutes. We've already hit like a good solid 3 4 as far as like 3 hours 4 minutes as far as like all this goes. So I'm gonna sit down and knock down this 9. Yeah, plus okay. And it, uh, um, now done with that. All right. Okay, so that's the major thing I need to get knocked out today. Um, I think ads are going to start in a minute, so or at least like another 2 minutes or so. So before I go into like my usual um, spiel of things, uh, hang on a second. I wish I had a moderator here so I could snooze. Yeah, I don't think I can do that manually because I would really, if I had a mod here, I would ask them to snooze whatever ad is coming up so I could like sit down and like properly do. But I don't. Hang on, let me see. I'm gonna see if I can like check Twitch ads. I would really be add it to OBS. I mean, now that I have a Stream Deck, I could. Yeah. Um, but it's one of those things where Twitch doesn't give you the option to snooze. Okay, normally Twitch does not give you the option to until like about a minute or so before it happens. It's not like a slash command. It's unless there it is. All right. For those of you that are not in ad hell, we're gonna wait for ads one more time, and then when ads are done, we're gonna get up out of here about that time. Okay. Okay, cool. That's done. Okay, so, I need to go. I gotta go poke a man about some sounds. Um, okay. That means that I should go. I should go do that like right now. Before I forget. All right. I put that out. Um, okay, right. I went ahead and sent that message now before I forgot because my brain is full of you. So I think as far as stream goes, we are good insofar as like what I wanted to get accomplished today. KT, if you're still here, I might extend the stage 2 waves by like a little bit, and do some other stuff. But I may also work on the other thing tomorrow and then save whatever other stuff for like final for Friday morning going into the early afternoon. I think question mark, double question mark, triple question mark. But I'll figure that out at some other point. That isn't tonight now because brain is going. I'll figure it out tomorrow probably because I put all the good thinking into getting all of this done, and now my brain is like doing like much brain things. Okay, I'm gonna go figure out who we're gonna go hang out because it is about that time. We've done about 3 hours. No stream on Friday because literally the deadline that I was working to do today is gonna be taking up most of our time. Going to be taking up all the time I'd be using the stream on Friday. The deadline that I was like aiming for, basically, is basically going to be eating into my stream time on Friday. So no stream on Friday. I'll see you on Sunday. We are going to raid somebody. I just need to figure out. So not go anywhere just yet. I just need to make sure that I know go hang out. I go back. It is still on spoiler content. I do not want to yet. I know there's some people in my chat on trail. Do not want to show y'all that person. I have to go see Kanto. Like we could go. Hey, you know what? We're gonna go hang out with Adrian. Adrian is doing a tipathon tonight. Stop talking too much. Hang out. Basically, every time that you give Adrian a tip, it extends the timer for how long he plays Persona 3 Reload for. I think anyway. Right? Today it looks like it's going to be Alan Wake he's working through. So we're going to go hang out with Adrian while he does that. Really chill. Good time. Love hanging out with Adrian. Give him an SJH does Ray. Get in. Let him know who sent you. All that other stuff. Throw in your favorite emotes for that as well. I'll see y'all. Oh, right. I need to do. So, if you want to check out my game analysis and design articles and stuff, go to cohost.org/SJHSgames. Stream bots are up at youtube.com/@SJHSgames. My Ko-Fi, if you want to support me directly and don't want to give money to Amazon and Jeff Bezos, because I keep more and help me keep more of it, monthly subscription on Ko-Fi is much better than Twitch stuff. $5 monthly on Ko-Fi. That lets me keep like $4 and change up. Around making sure that the money like lands secure. If you want to support the stream by like helping to help crowdfund things like team supplies or just home supplies or other kinds of anonymous gifting, Phone is suited for that. My card is over at sjhsgames.carve.co, but mostly I'm on co-host. If you want to learn more about Munity, which is the co-op that I am with, which KT is also a member of, by the way, Luda Dracana's VT is one of the other co-founders. If you want to learn more about us and what we do, go to munity.games. We have a Patreon where you can join as either a free member or a paid member and get your name in credits for our games. And then if you want to play Shootlancer, the July version of the prototype is up at unity.itch.io/shootlancer-prototype. If you want to hang out with me personally whenever I'm not streaming, Discord does several things and gates several behind like paywalls that get on my nerves. So we have a guild instead. While you are required to like have a Roblox account alongside of it, Guilded generally has much more robust scheduling and community building features. Get much less paywalls on certain like content related to it. So in general, I like it a lot more personally. I haven't yet been required to join. Yeah, if you're already logged in, if you have already made a Guilded account and you're logged in, basically it won't force you to until the next time you're logged out. No. So yeah, if you haven't already have a Guilded account, you might be fine as long as you haven't logged out of it recently. If you have, yeah. But yeah, we're gonna go hang out with Locatrian before I get too sidetracked. I'll see y'all on Sunday for Breath of Fire 4. Or if you're in the Guilded already, I'll see you on Saturday for more Gundam 00. Thank y'all for coming by. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, don't go outside if you don't have to, be excellent. but not to bigots, racist, terrorists, sexists, anti-queer folks, or Zionists. Black Lives Matter. Trans rights are human rights. Reproductive rights are human rights. Palestine must be free. Sudan must be free. Congo must be free. Caledonia must be free. None of us are free until we're all free. What it is. So, y'all for coming by. Appreciate it. Let's go bother Occasion. The menaces. I'll catch y'all on the flip side, yeah? Take care. Later.